In an effort to continue my trend of ranting about Path of Exile, I wanted to make a video on patch 3.22. Although this video will be much less negative than my previous one since I actually like some of the changes in this league. So as is tradition at this point, with the release of Path of Exile's Trial of the Ancestors, the league mechanic itself launched in a completely unbalanced and broken state with very lackluster rewards. But after about a week of us being guinea pigs, the first big patch launched, drastically improving the rewards, and in the following weeks since then there were several smaller hotfixes for some of the more game-breaking bugs and some balance here and there. Prior to that patch improving the rewards, my stance was to definitely hard skip the mechanic. I mean, not only was it extremely unrewarding to fight through a trial for like 2 Chaos Orbs, but it was also prone to bugs that would make the totems untargetable or even immortal in some cases, which would completely break your encounter and waste your time. After that first big patch though, I would say the league mechanic is 10 times more viable to do now. You're probably still better off farming something like Sanctum if you want to maximize your profit, but if you like the mechanic itself, it doesn't feel like a complete waste of time. Overall, while the mechanic is still quite unbalanced at the moment, I would say it went from a 4 out of 10 hard skip can't be asked to a 7 out of 10 I don't really mind using all these silver coins I have stockpiled. Now to talk about some of the other big changes in the patch, including the big undocumented change that a lot of people, myself included, were not fans of. To give some context, I play SSF in every single league for the past 2 years or so. I've league started Righteous Fire, and then I'll re-roll into a second and sometimes third build depending on how much I like the league, in order to both experience something new every league and also have a brain dead easy progression at league start, because I absolutely love the RF AFK playstyle. So last league, the 2 builds I wanted to reroll to, one using Formless Inferno and the other using Sakawal's Flock Twisters, both builds got nerfed mid-league. And by nerfed mid-league, I mean completely killed. Aside from not really liking the Crucible mechanic itself, my league plans being ruined was the biggest contributing factor to my creation of the Crucible rant video. And well, wouldn't you know it, this league my post-RF plan was to play Impending Doom, which conveniently had its damage gutted due to an undocumented change fixing Spell Cascade and Curse Radius. They did unfix it for this league, but it's still getting killed next league, which is, you know, whatever to me, I don't care. What I'm gonna say right now, at GGG, the builds I'm thinking about playing next league are either Whispering Ice or Guardian with a new minion, so go ahead and find a way to kill those in the next patch. Alright, cool. Now onto some other parts of this patch that I really liked. First up is the new Expedition Atlas node, Extreme Archaeology. Let's be honest here, Expedition is by far not my favorite league mechanic, but it's extremely lucrative and damn near mandatory in SSF if you want a specific unique. With this new node, you basically have only a single explosive to place, but it has a massive area of effect. Complicated thinking and planning out the optimal path for max reward, gone. Time wasted just spamming them down without care, gone. I see Expedition, place explosive, I check for Immunity Fire because, you know, fuck me, I guess. I click Explode, and I'm happy. Honestly, great addition, I love it. Next up is the new Maven node, Destructive Play. Since I'm playing RF, the speed at which I can kill bosses is pretty bad, so on paper this node doesn't sound like it would be that good for me, but I actually really enjoyed it. If you're doing a map rolled with the Twins modifier, or a map that has multiple bosses in it, you're gonna end up finding dozens of bosses per map. And if you combine that with the Conqueror and Remnants of the Past nodes, every map boss you kill has a chance to drop an Elder map, a Shaper map, a Conqueror map, and an Awakened gem, all on top of their regular loot. I mean, the biggest con to this node is you have to be doing Maven maps, which, you know, is far less lucrative, but I had a fun experience rushing map bosses and having a mini gauntlet experience each map. Okay, the third and final big change that I really like is the new Guardian Ascendancy. Specifically its new Radiant Crusade node. I'll be honest, this minion is slow as fuck, but it basically works as a 20% damage reduction and will absolutely smack the shit out of rares when it finally does get around to hitting them. I know it scales with levels until 85, but I re-rolled a Templar in Standard with literally no skill points, no gear, just a node, and it absolutely nuked Blood Aqueduct. It's really funky, but I love it. There are some other minor changes that I found to be positive this patch, but for the most part, all the new gems are whatever to me. Most of the new uniques are complete garbage as to be expected, and the Chieftain rework was really just a jug buff. And in my opinion, all the Ruthless changes should have been in a different patch post, because 60% of this patch is like shit I don't care about and I don't even want to read. And if you were to take that out, it would actually feel like such a lackluster patch. Anyways, that's about it for the Ancestor League rant. Even though I already quit the league, I think the core game is in a very solid state right now, so go have fun if you haven't already. In the meantime, me personally, I'm going back to some of the games I dropped for the new league, like Baldur's Gate 3, and hopefully I'll get around to making my next video faster than a month-long gap again, so Bye-bye.